Philosophy teaches you how to think, which you can apply to your everyday life and just make it that much better. Throughout my whole education, whether that be primary school, high school, or university, the best subject which I've ever done by far is philosophy. I've been studying it for nearly 6 years now, since I was 16 and now I'm about to be 22. And in this video, I want to explain to you why philosophy is so important and why you should do it to improve your life and also aid you in your self-improvement journey. Okay, so when people go to school and they say, oh, what's the point of all this? I'm never going to use all these math equations in my life, maybe never going to use physics in my life or science. And that's fair, unless you're pursuing a job which goes down that route. You're never going to do any of those things again. And you hear adults saying oh, all these math theories and stuff, they never use them and they give you practical advice. But philosophy, if you study it at school or even just on the side, that is a subject which you can use throughout your whole life and help you through many different aspects in your life. Because philosophy is different in that, as opposed to maths, for example, which you learn a concept in maths and then you apply it in maths, philosophy teaches you how to think. That's the key thing. No other subject does that. Philosophy changes your mindset and can make you look at things in a new perspective, which any other subject you do doesn't really do. Or at least you can't put that into real world practice. It pretty much teaches you lessons which you can apply to your everyday life and just make it that much better. One story which comes into mind is from my maths teacher when I was 17. He said that one of his students, he wanted to have a really different job. And so throughout his most of his high school and in university, he studied nothing but philosophy subject. He majored in philosophy, all his electives were philosophy, and he just kept studying and studying that. And then my teacher was like, why would you pursue this? You're not obviously going to get a conventional job when you do so, work a 9 to 5 or anything. But then he said this, with all of this years and years of full philosophy I've studied, the full dedication to study it, to do exams on it, to write stuff on it, etc. He said that hopefully when he goes around to try and find a job, because he's had all this philosophy learned and within him, he will look at things that the average person or the majority of people will not look at. He will look at a scenario in the business, for example, which only he knows the answer of how to fix because of his philosophical background. Because he changed the way he can think, he will get hired because of his unique perspective. So my final advice is, you should study philosophy in your meantime or at school. Because as opposed to any of the other subjects, philosophy teaches you how to think. And the principles you learn in philosophy are by reading about all the different philosophers. You can apply that in your whole life in infinite amount of scenarios, which you can't do with maths or physics, for example. Not to downplay them or anything, like I said before. If your job requires maths or physics, that's beautiful, that's fine. But philosophy, you can apply it to every aspect of your life, without a doubt. If you need recommendations on how to start or what to read, comment down below, or I can make a video about it if you wish. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you just instilled in your mind that philosophy is actually really important. And I'm sure not many of you had studied it, but I hope you do now, and I wish you all the best in your self-improvement journey. Thank you.